Comrades, good night. I just put a post out by Facebook, and as I put out the post, I realized that that will not do. That alone will not do. You need to hear my voice in this. So I want to help you with some things, because many of you must have surmised by now that I can get intelligence from U.S. intelligence agencies. I can. And I want to take you back to the beginning of Paul Well's problems. And Paul Well's problems, the beginning is 26 years ago, ever since he became Member of Parliament, and maybe about 20 years ago when he started moving away from Angela Brown-Burke and Paul Burke and establishing himself as his own man, which I don't even believe that he has yet. Angela Brown-Burke has long sought after East Kingston and Port Royal. This is the seat of her ambitions and her dreams. She didn't want Southwest St. Andrew. She was afraid of the idea of Southwest St. Andrew. So much so that she was a part of the team, along with Portia, who was trying to convince Paul Well to take South St. Andrew and give her East Kingston. She was riding for that. And Paul Well and Portia was riding for that because Portia didn't want Angela Brown-Burke in her seat. Portia was clear about that on numerous occasions if the officers of the party should speak the truth. Portia was clear. Every time her name come up, Portia said, "No, sir, no Angela down there. No Angela, no make constituency. Nah. She was clear. It was Paul Well who had to engineer the whole thing for Portia to agree for Angela to go. Paul Well had to engineer it. And Paul Well engineered it because his people in East Kingston and Port Royal made it clear to him that they want him to stay. They don't want her. Nobody wanted her in East Kingston and Port Royal. And from that day forward, she ramped up her antagonism with Paul Well. And it has come to this now. It has come to the disappearance of Paul Well's baby. It has come to the fact that the U.S. intelligence is deeply involved in what is happening down here. Not only because Paul Well's first baby mother number one, as we like to refer to her, is also a federal agent. And I can tell you she works for the DEA, which is a drug enforcement agency. That's the agency she works for, Paul Well's baby mother number one. And being a federal agent, I said in my first voice note about this matter, is that she cannot lie about anything regarding the disappearance of this whore that said that it's Paul Well baby that she have. And Paul will have to now claim the baby and own the baby. Now, I am not ruling out the fact that she might still be a person of interest and she might very well still be on the radar of the police. Because in a matter like this, when a person is missing for 8 days, the obvious suspects are the husband, boyfriend, man, boyfriend, or the husband, woman, ex-woman, wife, whatever it is. But these people are the usual suspects. And suffice to say, more than one occasions, 99% of the time, it is always one of them. Always. But I am confident in myself. Confident that Philip Paul Well couldn't harm him baby and the whore who claimed that this baby is his. Him couldn't. Philip Paul Well can't even kill a chicken for him Christmas dinner. That's how much of a kind of a naive and coward Philip Paul Well is. Philip Paul Well, I don't even know if him kill fly. But him couldn't kill a chicken for save him life on Christmas Day. In the first instance when we were told that Paul Well's phone was cloned, Angela Brown-Burke is a person that cloned Paul Well's phone. Paul Well's investigation produced that result. And Paul Well, in return, reported the matter to the FBI, to the police and to the FBI. Why? Because this is international crime. This is not a crime that only the Jamaican police can handle. Because Paul Well is a public figure. and being a public figure and a former minister of government who still has access to some places, if his phone is cloned, the FBI would be interested whether anybody call them yes or no. They would be interested because that's what the FBI does. Be interested in things. The FBI interviewed Paul Well. And anybody who knows how the FBI operate, when the FBI sit you down to ask questions, these are questions that they already have the answers to. The asking you of the questions is to see if you're going to lie, or to see if you could add anything to whatever they know, or take away anything to whatever they know. That is the reason why they ask you questions. FBI don't ask questions that they don't already know the answers to. Trust me on that. So Paul Well reported the matter of the cloning of his phone. The FBI got involved. And then the FBI sat down with Paul Well to interview him about the phone. And in interviewing about the phone and talking about the demand for the 50,000 US, the FBI informed Paul Well that the account number that was submitted to him for this $50,000 demand for his phone was an account that belongs to Brown-Burke and Angela Brown-Burke. The FBI informed Paul Well of that this bank account that they say you must put this 50,000 US in is Brown-Burke and Angela Brown-Burke's bank account. The FBI tell Paul Well that Paul Well know that Paul Well have that information. Mark Golding knows, and he has this information. Mark Golding knows, and he has the information. A couple other people know. I would go as far as saying that even PG himself probably know as a former prime minister. I would imagine that the Minister of National Security in Jamaica also knows, or he has been given a brief. I would imagine that. I'm not saying right off the bat that he knows, but I would imagine that FBI would give him a brief as well, or his staff would get a brief, on that matter. The pictures that was being sent to Paul Well, 8-year-old daughter, came from that phone. So it goes without saying that Angela Brown-Burke is the one sending those pictures. The pictures. Now, mind you, I'm not joining the two things, the disappearance of baby mother number 2 and what Angela doing. But it was the beginning of everything. I don't get to the meat of the matter where I can join the two things and make it into one. But I get in there. I promise you, the information is slow, and sometimes these people work slow in terms of sharing, But Paul Well's phone with that picture and all of that was sent to the baby. They are baby mother number 1, and the baby saw them. That was Angela Brown-Burke's doing. All of that was her doing. The police reported yesterday that they took off a person of interest off of the plane. Now, at first, there was a rumor that the person that they took off the plane was baby mother number 1, who is a federal agent, was leaving the country. Now, I said to those who was saying that, stop that. Not Augusta, that can't be true. Now, why did I say it can't be true? It can't be true because she has been here. She has been here since the whole saga. The police must have questioned her more than once and maybe informed her not to leave the country or something. So it is just not a logical thing to say that she attempted to leave the country and them hold her off at the airport. That is not a logical argument because she has been here. And if she has been here, then we must assume that the police question her, and we must assume that they say to her, do not move. We're not finished with you yet. She's a federal agent. So there's hardly much the police in Jamaica can do unless them have some hard and fast facts about she being involved at any high rate about the disappearance of this woman and the baby. Right? But international exchange of information and intelligence and all of that is kind of funny and fuzzy in some respects. Right? But I concluded that it wasn't she. Lo and behold, we understand today that the person of interest is a relative of Angela Brown-Burke. And that person might very well have been involved in the cloning of the phone and the information gathering and sending out of information on Paul Well's phone. Now, Jamaican village lawyers them across the country would have been sitting down and trying to figure out the thing long time ago. We know that you have been doing that, all of you village lawyers out there. We know. You know what the hurtful thing is about all of this? Mark Golding knows. Mark Jefferson Golding, the president of the People's National Party, he knows. And he has Angela Brown-Burke chairing PMP conference while the FBI have run the investigation. Come on, PMP people. Come on. What's the matter with Uno? Mark Golding, the leader, Uno just basically make leader for life. I don't want to make light of that. Uno give a constitutional right to stay in power for whatever length of time he wants to stay in power. Because that is how we're going to read it, no matter what Uno think. Him have the chairman of the party, Angela Brown-Burke, chairing party conference, a national, regional, international event, while she's under active investigation from the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Mark Golding knows. And him, Mark Golding, that dirty, nasty, raw white man, that traitor, that Judas, that son of a slave owner, have the audacity to tell a PMP MP of 26 years, say he mustn't come to PMP conference. PMP people, wonderful not listen to me. Mark Golding, the president of the People's National Party, told Philip Powell, former minister of government, former vice president of the PMP, former regional chairman for Region 3, former chairman of the party, a man that has done so much for the PMP. Mark Golding, this little piece of shit, this little piece of white, stinking, dirty shit, telling PMP MP that he mustn't come to PMP conference. This man who vote for Delroy Chuck every election. I tell Philip Paulwell not to come to conference while him have Angela Brown-Burke at chair conference. Wanna tell me, PMP people? Wanna tell me? And Paulwell, such a coward, afraid to talk these things, afraid to come out and tell the country what the situation is, so that the country can understand that this is the situation, this is where I'm feeling, this is where I'm under. Because you have some people around him that tell him about, boy, the party, and the party, them love do that, is their favorite phrase. When it suits them, is their favorite phrase that he should suffer, and he should die, and he should be under stress and distress and embarrassment. Because the party, you know, the party is bigger than all of us. And it's the party. So Paulwell, between two minds, sitting up in yard, depressed and sad, and afraid to talk about these things. And me I call him out from yesterday. I tell him, say, him for come talk. Him for come tell the country him have an obligation to tell the country what happened. What happened with him phone? Who cloned him phone? Did he report it to the police? Did the police interview him? Did the FBI interview him? Did he have a discussion with the FBI? Him need to come out and say it. And do him. Nobody tell him about the party. The party don't exist on Mark Golding and Peter Bunting and Dayton Campbell, Angela Brown-Burke and the few Rise United people the man have around there. That's it. Nobody else in there is feeling a part of the People's National Party as they should. Not the MPs, not the authentic PMP, not PMP people who have bled and struggled and walked them case off and sacrificed for this party. Not them. Them not a part of this. This is just Mark and them few people. Because Mark invests some money in the PMP. And he will get back in returns that time now. Let it go till him get back in returns or until the PMP delegates them decide that they have had enough. I am not bigging up myself in big support for Paulwell. Because some part of me, there's a part of me That just said what the Ross is wrong with this man. He has been warned many times to stay away from these people. Stop being in there. Stop trying to work things out. Stop trying to bring the party together. He has been warned. Him not stop. I'm a PMP. Him not stop trying to see if him can get it together. We wish sometime that him had to stop. Because these people are not good. These people will do anything to hold on to power. It is their power that they are more interested in than anything else. Not the party. Just the power that the party gives them. So Philip Paulwell, if you should receive this voice note, you have to come out, man. You have to come out. Yes, you know I can access information and I will put out what I can. I can't say everything, you know, but you are the victim, boss. You should come out, and you have been a minister of government. You have been a fixture in this country for 26 years. You need to come out and tell the country. Tell the country what happened. The country have a right to know. It is the country who will decide who leads them in the next general elections or the next local government election. It is the country, the people who vote. One of the mistakes that politicians continuously make is that they believe that as politicians, their lives are private. Your lives are not private. You're a public servant. There's nothing in your life that is private. Not a thing. There are private matters. Yes, there are some matters you would like to keep private. But if the public get a hold of it, it's not private anymore. The public has a right to know what's happening in this. You can't stay up in your yard in depression, constantly in depression. You can't. And I know that Lisa Hanna and some people would not want me to say this. But I understand that when Paul went up there on Monday in his depressive state and saddened state and answering no phone calls, not answering his gate, not answering nobody, I understand that Lisa Renee Shanti Hannah went up to Paulwell's house, drive up to him house, went inside, tidy up house, make soup for Paulwell, look after him, change round furniture. I understand that Lisa was up there going on with all kind of things. And when she done do all of that, she ordered food and called up some people, some former MPs, senators, call up Damian Crawford and call up some other people and tell them, say, want to come show some support to a brother. And they all went up and lifted him up a little higher. I'm sorry, people, but these things the public must know. No, you can't keep these things quiet. The public must know that Lisa Anna went up to Powell house, go cook soup for him and rearrange him furniture. Bring tears to my eyes when I heard, I'm telling you. And invite up some other people, Wickham and Damian and some other people, and then jam with him till midnight or thereafter. And he felt better. And that is how comrades gather around comrades. And this piece of shit that Uno Avakar, leader of the PMP, I tell Paul, when I say, even if I come a PMP conference, well, I'm telling you, if this is it, I'm telling you, there's no comeback for the PMP. None. And the Jamaican people is going to hear everything. And I promise you already that I'm going to make the Jamaican people know everything. So that when they go to the polls, they know what they should do. I'm angry. I know this come across as angry and agitated. I'm sorry. But I am angry. I'm very angry because I've been holding this from yesterday and Paul will need to come out. I'm very angry about it. Very, very angry. But anger doesn't solve anything. It doesn't. If I shout too much for some of you, I apologize. As for the nasty things that I call the leader of the PMP, I don't take them back. I mean every single word of it. Thank you for listening to me rant. But for those of you who care about this party and this country, say a prayer for Comrade Powell and put it on social media. Put it on WhatsApp, put it on X, put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram. Say a prayer for Philip Fiani Powell and put it on social media. I am asking you all to start a prayer train. What do you call it? A prayer chain. Yeah. It's because I never do one of those. Yes, that's why it's confusing me. Start a prayer chain and put it on social media in support of Philip Fiani Palwell. And we can watch what Mark Golding going to do tomorrow to have Angela Brown-Burke chairing the PNP annual public session conference while the FBI is looking into her activity. Let us watch and see. Thank you for listening to my rant. God bless you all. Stay safe and keep the kids safe, all right?